Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Sunday, Soul Day. I feel like Sunday is such a spiritual day. And before I go into my ritual course, I wanted to come on and talk about divine support, because divine support is such a graceful way of living. We can live such a beautiful, easeful, graceful life when we call upon divine support. We don't have to do everything alone. We don't need to know how everything is going to work itself out. But divine support is so powerful to support us on our journey in our greatest becoming. And it's what I use all the time. I truly believe my life is guided by divine support, divine guidance. And with that, that's like how I live my life. And I want to remind all of you that divine support is available to you in every moment. And it does depend on what you believe in. So your divine support can be different depending upon your belief structures. But essentially, divine support are energies that are beyond the physical realm, beyond time and space, beyond karma, beyond the human constructs and constraints that we create for ourselves. Divine support exists in the field of all that is. It's the quantum. It's the space where all possibilities live. It's the space of miracles. It's the space of grace. And so for me, divine support has been it's like what has guided, like I said, my whole life. I feel like the miracles that happen in my life are not done by me, they're done by my divine support. But it is my responsibility to show up and ask for it, to connect to my divine support team, and to really ask for what I desire while being open to whatever is for the highest and best good of all. Because sometimes our divine support team has more information than we have. So you might think like, oh my God, I really want to do that thing. I really want that house. I really want X, Y, and Z. But there's a greater plan. And so sometimes it's not happening in the way you want, in the way you think, because there's something greater happening. And this is where I feel like divine support is so powerful and beautiful in supporting us to live our ultimate lives. And that's the thing. I specifically wrote the title, Inviting More Divine Support for Ultimate Living. So there's living that's mediocre, that's whatever, this is life. And then there's ultimate living. And ultimate living is your highest potential. What are you here to do, be, and have that is you as your highest potential? And sometimes you, inside the human form, have a limited perspective of what that is. You're not quite sure what is your ultimate life. And a key is your desires guide it. So where you feel most alive and lit up. And this is separate from what society thinks is ultimate living, because everyone's ultimate life is different. It depends on your makeup and construct and your purpose here on the planet. So for me, my desires have always been a strong guidance system, like the things that light me up, the things that inspire me, attract me, and same thing for my clients too. Like when we say ultimate living, like everyone has a different dream. And that's how you know it's for you, because it's not like everyone has the same dream. Not everyone has the same dream. Not everyone has the same ultimate living vision. Not everyone has the same ultimate living embodiment that you're here to step into. So what I find is when we take the control out of our hands and we put it into receiving wisdom, guidance, grace, support, protection from our divine support team, like our spirit posse, like our spirit guides, angels, benevolent loving star brothers and sisters, ascended masters, whatever you feel, nature spirits, etc., things that are in the divine plane, which is not the physical plane. So when you're inviting more of that kind of support into your life, in my experience, that's when the magic starts to happen. Because even now, like, people in the spiritual realm are talking about the quantum and everything, and that's the space where everything exists. And what I find is the divine support space is the quantum. It's like just the more spiritual terminology for it. So when you invite miracles and grace and infinite possibilities into your life, that's where you really start to see things shift powerfully in such a beautiful way. And you don't need to know how, you don't need to control it. I think a big thing that our culture is suffering from right now is hustle and overwork. And yes, we do need to act and take action in the world of forms, meaning with our hands and doing things. But if it's too much, then we could be blocking flow. We could be blocking that grace and that miracle and that powerful energy that wants to come in and support us for what it is that we want. And then instead we're blocking it because we think we know best. So really inviting divine support is a whole other way of living that really requires a deeper surrender into trust and faith. But it's also the request, like, hello guys, hello divine support team, please come and support me in X, Y, and Z of what I'm creating. Thank you so much. And what's the process by which we can do that? It is rituals. Rituals. So oftentimes some people are like, but how do I connect to my divine support team? How do I invite more divine support into my life? Get in the habit of starting to do rituals. So I am an initiated priestess in this life. I've also been a priest, a priestess, a wizard, a witch, a magician in a past life. And when you are operating from that space, you act as a conduit with divine forces. So you bring these divine energies into this realm, and with that, that's how magic is created. That's how manifestation happens. That's how spells happen, right? Depending on who we're looking at. So a priest and a priestess is essentially a conduit to divine energies. So that's why, like, depending on if you know about ancient Egypt, for example, so there was like the initiates and the priestesses of Isis or Hathor. So it's all the different goddesses or gods, like of Thoth, of Ra, right? And that's just like one, everyone knows about ancient Egypt. So I think that's always a good example to use. And so the idea is, as a priest or a priestess, you are bringing those divine energies into form to help with creation, because as some of you may or may not believe, we are a piece of divinity that comes in to play this game of the human experience. And it's such a fun game. And when you know the rules, you can play better. And that's really my intention, is with giving and sharing these offerings, these courses that I have every month. It's so you can get better at playing the game of life. Because when you get better at playing the game of life, the sky's the limit. And so when people often say, like, oh my gosh, like, how do you manifest these things? It's because I know the rules of the game and I show up within that system of rules. And part of that is tapping into divine energies, tapping into the quantum, and being able to direct my will, focus, and intention, and being so deeply connected to my desires from a place of non-attachment, because it's really from a place of what's for the highest and best good. And when you have that formula, and then in my opinion, the other piece is rituals, because I use them in my work, I use them in my personal life, I prescribe them to my clients. So I went from being a medical doctor prescribing prescriptions to then being a healer, priestess, coach, activator, and I prescribe rituals. And rituals for healing, rituals to receive energy, rituals for activation, and they are transformational. So this video has been a public service reminder to connect more to divine support, so you can allow more grace in your life, so that things can happen with more ease and grace, even beyond your wildest dreams, better than you can imagine, this or something better. And if you'd like to know how you can go deeper into inviting more divine support into your life, then I invite you to stay and listen. I'm going to share a little bit about my rituality course. So starting this month on 11/11, which was a powerful manifestation portal, I launched my rituality course. And this year I am hosting a different course every month, because over these years, from when I transitioned to being a medical doctor back in 2012 until now, almost a decade, I have been on a spiritual journey of transformation, healing, becoming, and I'm still on it. And I've received countless So Jocelyn writes, I feel like I've been so disconnected with my divine guides lately. Exactly. So many people are living disconnected to divine energies and divine support. And as a practitioner that uses energy, and I call upon divine guidance in every single thing I guide. And in my journey over this almost a decade, so much of my transformation and becoming has been from me connecting with divine energies, being a divine channel for them, having them assist me in my healing and transformation. And so I host many things that I include divine support and energy, but specifically for the month of November, I have my rituality course. And rituals are such a powerful way to connect to our divine support team. And I'm going to be sharing rituals from altar rituals to rituals with the elements, rituals in nature, rituals for healing, rituals for abundance, for activation, to reclaim more of your power. And our life starts to transform the moment we start doing rituals. And I like to say it's magic because we don't know how it's done. And that action alone, with your will, your intention, your attention and intention, like your focus and deciding this is what I'm doing, this is really what then allows for massive transformations in a short amount of time. And this is that grace and flow and beauty that we get to see. We don't need to suffer. We don't need to hustle. And I find that rituals are such a powerful, beautiful way. Hey, Cecilia. Hey, Jack. It's fun to see some of my friends popping on. So with that, it's so, like, for me, like, I'm a ritualist at heart, and it's how I can really allow for wild manifestations and allow for beauty to unfold without making it happen or trying so hard. And it's such a graceful practice, and it's a mindfulness practice, and it is a personal development as well. And it allows for such a way for trusting in life, trusting that whatever's for the highest and best good is going to happen, and for your ultimate living and greatest becoming. Because the truth is, to really reach that like ultimate level of living, you couldn't even plan it if you wanted to. You know, if you ever like listen to people when they've arrived at a moment of success, even for myself with different manifestations, even when I was traveling the world, I'm like, I don't even know how this is happening, how this magic, this synchronicity is happening. But when you learn to stay in the divine flow of the universe, people come into your life. You start to meet people, you start to engage, you start to connect. Like, opportunities are sent to you, and you don't need to make anything happen. You don't need to be pushing or forcing. You become magnetic. Things are gifted to you, and it's so beautiful when that happens. And this is what I believe to be that heaven on earth that I feel that I'm here for. I'm here for the healing, awakening of humankind, for such beauty and bliss to be lived on this planet. And it's so exciting to be able to share this knowledge and this wisdom. So if anything I've shared today has resonated with you, I'll really invite you inside the rituality course. It's happening now through the month of November, because next month there'll be a different one connected to spirituality. Before the month of November, the course is rituality, and it's full access to all the courses that I use, prescribed to my clients, I have in my coaching programs, that I even do with clients who come here on retreat. And I felt like, you know what, it's important that people have access to this information so you can allow for the healing and the transformation to happen in your life. So with that, I send you so much love. Reach out to me. I would love to share more. I would love to share the link with you for my rituality course. It's also in my bio, but if you're watching this beyond November, you can reach out to me directly. And I would love to see you inside. I'm Dr. Nikki Starr. I send you so much love. I wish you a beautiful day, and may you connect to your divine support team to support you in living your ultimate life. That support is there for you. It's your divine birthright, and I want to show you how to tap into it even more. I love you. Bye for now.